Marty's background is a lot in punk rock too, from the Ramones thing. And there isn't really any palm muting there. If you want to get humbled as a player and as a musician, try recording something like this and listen back. You might notice that, man, there's a lot of work to be done. Hey, everyone, and welcome again to a new episode of Deep Dive. Today, we're going to talk about Thrill City. And the first part is all about harmony. And this time, I want to do something different in that I want to talk about rhythm guitar. For this song, I got this 7-string Evertune bridge guitar, and it has really helped out in just being able to record this song because all the other low tuning stuff that I had with previous songs, I just did with my telly. And you can get by with single notes, maybe with power chords, but anything bigger, it's just not going to be in tune unless you set it up to be in tune in that tuning, right? So to make stuff happen, I got this guitar, and this is what it sounds like. Oh yeah. So the bottom half here is the rhythm guitar, the 7-string, and the upper half is the lead guitar. So what's going on here at first is we're starting off with this riff. Right? And that is a pretty straightforward B minor, B blues scale kind of riff. So it's the same notes as right? So you would maybe assume that this song would be in B minor. Well, after we are done repeating that riff a few times, then what happens is this thing. Go into this. Which is just a B pedal. So we are very much on B. Just the B note. Now on that B pedal, the harmony guitars are starting to do stuff like this. And what is starting to happen is the song is starting to reveal itself in what key it's in. See, this is all very much E major. What the B note means to E major is 5. So there's the 1. And the B is the 5 to an E major. So that is why I've written it down as a B5, as a power chord, because it kind of changes its nature on the way. It starts out with this kind of a blues thing, but then it shifts into being a B7. Right? So it kind of reveals itself to be actually in the key of E major. And then we get to the main melody of the song. And this is what the guitar is doing. Okay. So there are a lot of power chords, but the chord symbols are taken into account the entire context of the song. So, say a song, well, like these first chords. Right? We're playing the same chords, but in a more heavy metal punk rock kind of way. right? So that is a power chord, but in the context of the song and what else everybody is doing, including the melody, it becomes a C sharp minor. So that's why it's written down as a C sharp minor. Yes, it is just a power chord, but we're thinking about the entire context. In the key of E major, E is the 1. Then comes a B major, which is a 5, right? And here comes this thing. What's going on here is you can think of it like this. We have an B major bar chord, right? That thing. And we're just playing parts of it, just the top two, and combining it with this. Makes sense? So it's very much B major. Then comes C sharp minor, which is a 6. Also notice that there isn't any palm muting here. The only palm muting was on the low B. Then comes the A, which is a 4. So it's an A power chord, and we're adding a bit of the flavor of the 9 there. Another chord that does that is, for instance, this. Right? It's kind of the same thing. Then comes, right? Very E major. So you can just grab this regular E major open chord. And that's actually something that I had to work on a lot to get it to feel good. And I'm still not that good at it. In fact, this whole rhythm guitar thing right here, if you want to get humbled as a player and as a musician, try recording something like this. It's just, basically, it's just eighth notes, just pumping along. But when you record them and listen back, you might notice that, man, there's a lot of work to be done as a musician to make those eighth notes feel good. At least that's what it was for me. Okay, let's keep going. E is the 1, right? B is the 5 again, and the same kind of thing. And C sharp minor. Then comes the F sharp minor, which is the 2. And a G sharp minor, which is the 3. Right? Similar kind of thing here. A, which is the 4. A sharp diminished. One thing that we've talked about before in deep dives is there are 3 kinds of chords. One is the chords that are built from the main scale, which in this case is the E major. The second way is building chords from some other scale. It could be E minor, for instance. And the third way is chords that are taking us somewhere. And this chord is a chord that is taking us a half step higher to the B. Right? So instead of going A to B, we have a little bit of a chromatic motion in there. Right? And you can do that for any chord anywhere. Say from the F sharp minor to the G sharp minor. You can go in fact, you can do it for all the chords here. Let me go from E to E, and I'll be in the E major scale when I can, but I'll put the diminished in between. It's all usable stuff. Let's keep going. Then comes the 5 again, which is the B. And instead of playing a power chord or the major chord, we're actually playing the riff on top again. So what that kind of means is that we are superimposing a different scale on top of the chord. It's a fancy word that basically means that we are playing something else on top of that thing. Right? So it's one way of adding spice into something. That when the thing comes and you would expect there to be a B major. No, what we are doing is we are superimposing the same thing that we did before, which is the B blues scale. So that's why it kind of works. It's a flavor that we've had before in the song, and now we're just bringing it back, and our ear doesn't mind. Okay, let's keep going. So, again, E is the 1. And to the B, which is the 5. Then comes a C sharp minor again, which is the 6. And B, which is the 5. And then comes an F sharp major. That is a 5 to a 5. What that means is it's a chord that is taking us somewhere, and it's a chord that is pulling us to another chord. Any chord that you have, say in the E major scale, you can have a 5 that takes you to that chord. So in E, it's a B. To the F sharp, it would be a C sharp. To a G sharp, it would be a D sharp. Any chord goes. And this one is a chord that has a job to do, and this job is to take us to the 5. If we were strictly inside the E major scale, it would be an F sharp minor, but right now its function is different. Its job is to take us to a B. Then comes another F sharp, and that's a minor 7. So the F sharp changes its nature. This is actually a very common jazz move that you hear in a bunch of standards, where, say, we have a song in C major. That was a bad example, I know, but maybe you've heard that sound before. So it's 1, 6, which is C major and A minor. Then comes a D7, then a D minor 7, and a G. And back to C. So the D is changing its nature. At first, it's a 5 that is taking us to a G. But instead of immediately going to the G, we're changing it to a minor, making it more inside the original C major scale, and then we go to the G. Now what is going on here is the same exact thing. At first it's a 5 to a 5. Then it changes its nature to be a 2 chord. And to get that to sound good is something I'm still working on. But then comes the 5 finally. And then we're going down. So the whole thing from there sounds like this. So the rest, B is a 5, A is 4, G sharp minor is the 3, C sharp minor is the 6. Then comes A is the 4 again, B is the 5. Then the 5 changes its nature again to become the riff. Then we're taking the same kind of riff and using it as a tool to get us from one place to another. And it goes like this. Okay, so what is going on is we have this one riff that is very blues scale again. Just as this riff was. It's the same scale. And we are playing this one pattern. And then we are simply shifting it up a fret. It's an F sharp, a G, G sharp, A, and A, you can think of it as the A minor blues scale again, but it has another function that we've been having with the B2, and it can be a 5. So the A5 is actually also an A7, and that is a 5 that is taking us to D major. So that is one way of changing a key in a song. You can do it in a bunch of different ways. One way is just to not set it up at all, just go from one key to another, which is fine. I like that sound. Another way is to set it up somehow, and this is one way of setting it up. And now the home base, the key, is here. Okay, now we are in D major, which is this part. That thing, right? So now the D is the 1, G is the 4, A is the 5, then comes a B, which is the 6, G is the 4, and the 5. Next comes this D major chord. I play it like this because that's how I can get the higher strings. Then we're shifting the key back to E major, but this time we're not setting it up at all. It's just, here's E. And one thing that helps to establish that too in the ear is the melody is exactly the same as before, but a whole step higher. So before it was here, and now it's makes sense? So we are in E major. So the E is 1, A is 4, then comes a B, which is the 5, then a C diminished, which is the chord that is taking us to the next one, which is the C sharp. So it's doing the same thing as before, just sticking a diminished in between two diatonic chords. Right? So B is the 5, C diminished is the chord that is taking us to the 6. That is the C sharp. Right? A is the 4. And we are back here. Then we're back in this kind of thing. Notice how, again, there is a palm muting. My instincts tend to pull me towards doing that thing all the time. But, you know, Marty's background is a lot in punk rock, too, from the Ramones thing. And there isn't really any palm muting there, you know. that kind of thing. Anyway, E is the 1, B is the 5, C sharp minor is the 6, A is the 4. So there was the little F thing. The F is simply a chord that is taking us to the E. It doesn't have to be any deeper than that. You can think of it deeper than that if you want to, but I don't think a song like this really needs a chat about tritone substitutions over a dominant chord. Maybe if that subject comes along at some point, we can talk about it. But for now, I think it's a bit more simple and to the point to think about this as a chord that is resolving a half step down. You can do that for any chord anywhere, and it works just fine. Let's keep going. E is the 1 again. B is the 5. C sharp minor is the 6. B is the 5. Then comes the same kind of function that we had before with the F sharp major, which is playing it in a different spot. So the bass is playing the F sharp down low, but we are playing this. And the notes here are the major third and the 5. So if the bass was also playing the third as the lowest note, then this would be called an F sharp with an A sharp in the bass. But in this case, the bass is playing the F sharp, so the chord is an F sharp major. Because the chord symbols take into account the entire context of the song. Okay, then it shifts again to the F sharp minor 7. So it's the same progression as before, it's just that this time I've put it into the chord symbol that it's a G sharp major. And that is because of the melody. So the rhythm guitar is just a power chord. It's playing the 1 and the 5, but the melody is taken into account the 3. So that's a very G sharp major thing that is taking us to a C sharp minor. So that's why the symbol is different over there. But after that, it's the same old stuff. So C sharp minor is the 6, 5, 4, 5. Then again, we're changing the key. And this time it's, again, without any kind of a setup. It just happens. And we land on G major. So what is going on here is we have a G major, which is the 1. Then we have a 2-5-1 to E. Remember how I said that we have chords that are taking us somewhere? Well, we can also have a chain of chords that are taking us somewhere. And one of the most common ways to do that is to have a 2-5-1 to a chord. And that's what's going on here. We have a 2-5-1 to E. In the key of G major, the E is a minor. Inside the E minor key, the 2 would be an F sharp minor 7 flat 5. And the 5 would be a B7, right? So that's why it's called a 2-5-1. If E minor is the center of our gravity, you can think about that key for a second and check out that the 2 of E minor is an F sharp minor 7 flat 5, or you can think of it as an F sharp diminished, that's fine too. And the 5 is a B or B7. We can have that for any chord. And roughly speaking, we have two kinds of 2-5-1s. The 2-5-1s that are taking us to a major chord, and 2-5-1s that are taking us to a minor chord. And here is an example of a 2-5-1 taking us to a minor chord. That's why the chord is that thing. 1, then comes the 2-5, 2, E. Then comes this thing. That's almost in the key of G major or E minor, however you want to think about it. If I played it exactly in key, it would be like this. Right? The only note that is different here is the F sharp is an F, which I'm sure you guys have seen in an E minor song. You can use an F. You can use an F sharp too, even this thing. It's all good, right? So it's not taking us out of the key. It's just playing around with the power chords inside E minor, G major kind of territory. I'm sure you've heard this thing in a lot of songs. And if you want to analyze it further, you can call it an E Phrygian or G Mixolydian. But that kind of a modal thinking in this moment, I don't think it's that necessary. You don't have to think about it that deeply. It's simply playing around with power chords inside the E minor thing. Right? Then we have this A5. It's a power chord. We're just simply embellishing a little to give it this minor flavor. Right? So this is the power chord, and here is the minor third. Let's keep going. So we're still in the key of G major. The A right there is just a 2 chord. Then comes the C, which is a 4. Then comes this. I'll play you the whole 4-bar thing. What's going on is this is the 4, the C. Then comes this diminished. Now you can think about this in a few different ways. You can think about this as a chord that is taking us to the E. It's just that the resolution to the E comes a little bit later. Just like it did before with the F sharp major, F sharp minor thing. Another way to think about it is that it's C major going to the C minor with an inversion. So what I mean is this. That's the way I hear it. I mean, that's the way it feels to me. But that's just me. That's a subjective thing. You can think about this chord in many different ways because diminished are a kind of a hairy bunch of chords in that they can have a bunch of different functions. To me, this sounds like an inversion of the 4 minor, which is the C minor. But again, you can think about it as a chord that is taking us to the E minor. Either way is fine. Then it's a G, it's the 1. Again, the same F thing. E minor is the 6. Then we have this kind of a reggae section thing. That thing. This section here is a way to change keys again. And instead of looking at the chords like relating to G major, so a 2, 5, 1 minor, 4, instead of that, let's look at it as a chain of chords that are taking us somewhere. So A minor and D, they are a 2, 5 that are taking us to a G. Then G minor and C are another 2, 5 that are taking us to an F. So this is kind of a device to take us from one key to another using 2, 5, 1 chain of chords to get us from one place to another. Then the ride doesn't stop there because we are still in the midst of changing keys. We landed on the F, right? Now, instead of the 2 5s that we had before, now we're having a chain of 5s. Okay? We're having a chain of 5 chords that are taking us a long way into the chord where we want to end up in. Where we want to end up in is the key of E major again. And before the E major, we simply have a 4 and 5 of E major. But how we get to that 4 and 5, here is one way. And that way is a chain of 5 chords. So the 5 to an A is an E. The 5 to an E is a B. The 5 to a B is an F sharp. The 5 to an F sharp is a C sharp or D flat, however you want to look at it. The 5 to a D flat is an A flat. The 5 to an A flat is an E flat. The 5 to an E flat is a B flat. The 5 to a B flat is an F. So we have a chain of 5s that don't really follow any key. They're just taking us down in the same distance every time. So that is the function in this section. So first we have this 2, 5, 1 chain, and then we have a chain of 5 chords. And where we end up is the E major. So E major is the 1, and B with an F sharp is still a 5. It's just that the bass is playing the F sharp. Then we are playing this chain of chords. So what is going on here is we're simply going down chromatically. Okay, we're just going down chromatically. We're starting from this note. It's a D flat or a C sharp, however you want to look at it. And it's right inside the E major. And then we land on this, which is right inside E major again. The names of the chords are a bit strange because I'm kind of taking into account the tritone substitution function of the chords, but I don't want to confuse you with that. What I think is essential to think about is that we're starting in key and ending in key. We're just putting every single chromatic note there is. Now, the rhythm guitar is just playing power chords, and it's a bit to play lower. We're here at first, right? The reason that the names are a bit strange there is because the lead guitar is playing these arpeggios. So we'll look at the other function of this section later in the melody part. But now in this harmony part, this is what's going on. Let's keep going. A is the 4. Then comes a 2. C sharp minor with the G sharp in the bass. So instead of a regular C sharp minor, which would be we actually have an inversion of the chord. So we have a 5 in the bass, and then we have a 3rd up here. And then comes the diminished thing again, which has the job of taking us a half step higher, which we have to play over here. So it's again a 4, a sharp 4 diminished, which is just taking us to the 5. Then, now we're setting up a key change. We're playing this chord. Now before, this chord was C sharp minor, but now we're here to set up a key change. So it's a C sharp major, because it is taking us to the new key, which is F sharp major. Okay, I'm sure you can kind of guess what is going on. So inside F sharp major, this is 1. Then C sharp major is the 5. Then we have a diminished that is taking us to the 6. Right? Then C sharp is the 5 again. B is the 4. Then we are changing keys again. And this time it kind of sets up with a 4 chord. And the 4 really fits the melody notes here too. It's taking us to an E major, which is again our key. So E major is the 1. G sharp minor is the 3. C sharp minor is the 6. Right? Nicely in key. B is the 5, again with the F sharp and the A sharp in the bass. Actually, this time it is the A sharp in the bass because the bass is playing the A sharp. So we have the same grip as before. We're actually even taking the F sharp here, but the bass is still on the A sharp. Then comes the F sharp minor 7 again, which was the 2. Then the 5, then the 4. Then the G sharp major is again the 5 to a 6, and this is because of the melody. C sharp minor is the 6, B is the 5, A is the 4, B 5, E is the 1. C sharp 7 here is a 5 to a 2. So it kind of is pulling us into a 2 chord. That's where it would be pulling us. But we're not going there, we're going to the 4. 4, 5, 1. And at the end, we're back to the riff. And that's it. And while we are playing that riff, the bass and drums are soloing around. But yeah, that is Thrill City. We are done. So, this is one of those songs that chord-wise, it's pretty straightforward. It's just that it's really fast and it's changing keys all the time. and we have different ways of changing the keys. But yeah, we are done. That's it for part one, Harmony of Thrill City. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I'll see you again. Thanks.